At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. Before we get to Krueger's Quick Cast, I wanted to show you what it looks like out there this morning here we'll start off with what it looks like right now in Crescent City. Looks like, boy, of course, it's taking longer for the sun to set here, right? Or sun to rise. What is it? Was it the evening already? No, sun to rise here. You can see looking at, looks like mainly clear skies. In fact, we're not looking at a lot of fog along the coast here, not only this morning, but for the next few mornings as well. Going kind of raw here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Sundial Bridge and see what it looks like over there. And yeah, we got the clear skies out there this morning. Looks like someone is out there on the bridge this morning and enjoying some of those cooler temperatures, making for a gorgeous, gorgeous start to the morning. The thing is, I'm talking about the fact that we're in the middle of a warming trend here, and we certainly have felt it here yesterday. We're going to feel it again here for today. So as we take a look at Krueger's Quickcast, let's start off with taking a look at the weather headlines. And this just kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about in the deeper dive, because we do have that warming trend this week I was talking about. We have mid to upper 90s in the valley. That's going to peak around Wednesday, and then a chance for some mountain showers by the end of the week. And cooler, looks like just in time for fall for the most part. And again, we'll talk about that a little bit more detail in our deeper dive. In the meantime, temperatures right now, notice it's pretty mild in Redding, 72 degrees this morning, otherwise mainly in the 60s. And that's just because we have a bit of a north wind in the valley this morning. That's keeping those temperatures up just a tad. Willows, I don't know if I'm necessarily agreeing with those winds down there. I don't think it's quite as breezy there, but a bit of a north breeze this morning, keeping those temperatures a little bit warmer. That atmosphere mixed up a little bit here, keeping those temperatures from dropping very low. So for this morning out the door, on average in the valley, you're talking mid-60s, but of course we saw it's much warmer than that in Redding right now, so why would it be down to 66 by 8 a.m.? Yeah, that's definitely the case. We're probably going to be somewhere in the mid-70s for places like Redding by 8 o'clock in the morning, but Chico, Red Bluff, probably somewhere in the mid-60s, 40s and 50s for the higher elevations. So high pressure is the dominant feature. That's what's going to keep us warmer here over the next few days. Clouds moving up and over that ridge of high pressure. So for today, temperatures will be in the low to mid 90s. South end of the valley, low 90s. Chico, for example. Redding, more like the mid 90s for your daytime highs. And I've got those temperatures in the 80s and even some 90s in the higher elevations. Although places like Weed and Aden and Alturas and some of the areas northeastern Siskiyou County, looking at temperatures more like the mid to upper 70s for your daytime highs. And for the coast, yeah, very nice, right? Plenty of sunshine, upper 60s, even some low 70s. For tonight, again, I expect mainly to drop down to about 60 degrees in the valley. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s for the higher elevations. And looking at your 7-day forecast, we've got a bit of a roller coaster ride. So yes, we're talking about this increase in temperatures, which really I've been talking about even since last week. I do expect it to peak around Wednesday with mid to upper 90s, just depending on where you are. They go down again, and then they start to go back up again. For the coast, mid to upper 60s. You can see inland temperatures also going on that roller coaster ride up and down. And then you can see that's the case for Trinity County and many of the higher elevations as well. But you'll notice for Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, Friday, Saturday, we've got that rain in the forecast. All right, let's take a look at that fire weather forecast. Just taking a look at the latest on the fires. And this is going to be quick, folks, because there's not a whole lot new to report with what's going on with the fires. The Root Fire, as of 9/11, as of the latest report, was from September 11th, 729 acres, 97% containment. Let's go and take a look at the Dillon Fire. Now, this was reported yesterday at just around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see really not a whole lot new to report. It is up to 78% containment. Now we're going to take you out to the Blue Fire, where it's at 30% contained as of yesterday morning at 3,663 acres. Now we're going to take a look at the Log Fire, and this is actually getting some better containment as well. This was reported yesterday afternoon just a little under 1,200 acres and 71% containment. And now looking at the Peak Fire in Trinity County, you can see that is at 504 acres as of September 12th. 97% containment. And we're taking a look now at the Cedar Fire as of September 9th, 91 acres at 95% containment. So really no new information to really speak of as far as the fires are concerned, at least nothing significant. But the good news is we're not seeing a lot of activity coming from those fires. The fire weather risk for today is going to be in the low to barely getting that moderate range. Hotter temperatures, drier conditions, and I do expect to see more in the moderate range and even moderate to high, as you can see in central Siskiyou County. And by Wednesday, even hotter and probably even drier, which means even the valley may get kind of into that high fire weather risk as well. All right, that's a look at your fire. That's a look at your fire weather, that is, and latest on the fires, as well as Krueger's Quickcast. And before we get into the deeper dive, let's take a look at some of the cameras out there this morning, looking at Lake Orville, North Forebay, taking a look at Main Street, Chico. And again, you're kind of noticing, you're waking up in the morning and it's a little bit darker. These days are getting shorter and shorter as we get closer to the first day of fall, which, by the way, is next Monday. A week from today, we're going to be talking about the first day of fall. There you can see Highway 99 at Neal Road. You've got your typical traffic out there. Everyone has their headlights on because it's a little dark out there this morning. Sundial Bridge Drive, Highway 44. Looks like your typical traffic this morning on Highway 44 as well. This is looking at Bald Hill West. Boy, with some of the leftover moisture that we still have, we're seeing some of the patchy fog for some of those inland and even some of those mountain valleys. Taking a look at the cameras out there this morning, we can see this is looking at Elk Country north of Trinidad. I was saying not much in the way of fog this morning. Looks like we do have some fog out towards Elk Country this morning. And now we're going to go ahead and take another look at the Sundial Bridge camera here real quickly here. Again, you can see someone out there enjoying this beautiful, cooler weather. We do have the clear skies this morning out in the Redding area, and of course, really the valley in general. And as we take a look at the Crescent City camera here this morning, I mean, look at the sun is rising. We don't have much in the way of cloud cover up in Crescent City this morning. So just a gorgeous, nice, cool start to the day out on the coast in Crescent City. There again is another look at Bald Hill West, trying to look down into the Hoopa area, but there is some of that pretty dense fog kind of socked into some of those mountain valleys. We're taking a look at Soda Ridge this morning, and there's a look at Mount Shasta off in the distance there, turning out to be a beautiful shot there this morning. And taking a look at Fort Jones, we have seen some fog out there last week. That certainly isn't the case this morning, as we've got the clear skies out there this morning. Well, today is Monday. Now, this is something we haven't done in a while, but we've got our Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. Now, this is the first, I haven't spoken to Sharon Clay in quite a while, so we were able to kind of catch up. This is a long one, but it is fun. They have a new animal. Oh, you know what? I didn't even go back to, I apologize, folks. I never went back to the camera. So before we do that, let's take you back to some of those cameras that I was just talking about that you didn't even see. There's a look at Bald Hill West, trying to look down now at Hoopa, turning out to be a lot of that fog out there this morning. Let's see what's going on here at Soda Ridge. And yeah, beautiful shot there this morning. We do have the sun rising, turning out to be some beautiful colors, and looking out at Fort Jones this morning. As I mentioned earlier, there has been some fog there last week, but we don't have any fog there, just those clear, beautiful, cool conditions. All right, now let's talk about Turtle Bay. Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals, something I've done for a while. I took a little bit of a break from it, but we're bringing it back. I got to hang out with Sharon Clay, and they've got a new fox that they brought to the Turtle Bay family, and we've got a lot to learn about, not only the fox, but some terrible things that are going on out there as well, dealing with foxes. So let's take a look at this week's Turtle Bay, that is. It's been a while, right? Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. You're watching Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. We've got Sharon Clay from Turtle Bay, and one of your newest animals here
That's
at Turtle
right.
Bay, and that is Red.
Red.
Over there. Now,
Uh-huh.
it's interesting because categorized as a red fox, but due to what they call, you know the word. Explain to me why he's not red.
So he is a melanistic version
Okay.
of the red
Yes.
fox. So melanism is like the opposite of albinism, right? So if you're an albino, you lack all pigment. You have no melanin in your
Red
body.
eyes, sometimes
Red
too,
eyes,
right?
because
Yeah.
there's no color pigment at all.
Yeah.
This is the opposite extreme. This is melanistic. So he's got so much melanin pigment that all the color turns black. So it's all black with silver.
So what was the reason behind the name Red, even though he's not red and he's melanistic?
Because a couple of good reasons. Like, think about that. People will look at him and they're like, ooh, he's a gray fox. Ooh, look at that black fox. Ooh, look at whatever. But we're like, his name's Red. Why is he named Red?
And then,
He's red because he's actually a red fox. So we thought, one, it would be really endearing to children, and two, it would spark a conversation on that fact that he's actually a red fox.
I am like falling in love with this animal. It's such a beautiful animal.
He is gorgeous.
Yeah.
He's a gorgeous, gorgeous animal, and he had such a sad backstory.
Well,
that,
and you were telling you
you
about
know,
that. So this is something that really just shook my world because I had no idea what was going on. So
Yes.
So there are fox farms.
There are fox farms in the United States.
Now that doesn't sound so bad, but wait till she tells you what those fox farms are for.
A fox farm is a fur farm, and I thought that was done in the United States. I thought it was done back in like the 80s. But actually, it is a thriving business in the United States,
Wow.
a fur farm. So he was being raised as a future coat.
Oh my God.
That is what he was
Just
being raised
part of
for.
one. You say about 10 of them for a coat, right?
17 to make a coat.
Wow.
17, and he's not even full grown
Yeah.
yet. And so he and his siblings were being raised in a horrendous conditions. They are not regulated at all. No regulations. We're regulated by 2 federal government agencies, as well as a state agency, as well as we're accredited from a zoo association. And they are not regulated at all. They can do whatever they want. These animals are living in atrocious conditions. He had water that was completely green, not clean, maggots all over the cage. It was just the saddest thing ever. And luckily, there's some amazing organizations out there in the Midwest that are actually saving these foxes from these fur farms. And I have so much admiration for these organizations that are doing this. And that's where he came from, one of these sanctuaries that was saving him from this nasty fur farm.
Well, that's awesome. He's here now, and he's safe, and he's
Yes.
doing well. You say he's very
boy.
smart. It sounds like you say that you got about 10 commands out of him so far?
Oh my gosh, that's like half as many as we have. I think I've got about 20 right now. So
Okay.
if he does this, what he's doing right now, it's called Mark, where he just sits with his front 2 feet on whatever I
Yeah.
ask him to put them on. He'll sit in people's laps. He will jump. He'll follow the target. He comes. He was all the way across. Remember when I called him? He came to me.
For all the way over there, yeah.
He's just doing so many great things. We're teaching him all these natural behaviors so that he can then be a great ambassador for people and teach everybody about red foxes, but also about this fur farm trade. It is illegal in California. It's the only state it's illegal in.
Good.
The only state.
Well, at least there's that.
So we have that at least here, but we still think, we have what's happening in our own backyard, but we have what's happening elsewhere, and we should pay attention, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Well, Red is
So-
absolutely beautiful. Has Red met Loki yet?
Well, we don't have Loki. Loki passed.
Oh my gosh.
But Artemis.
When did that happen?
We lost Loki back in April.
Oh man, we haven't done these in a while, have we? That's
No,
crazy. I'm so
sad.
sorry.
It was really sad.
Artemis, how about Artemis?
Artemis hates him. You guys, she's not a fan. She says
Animals will be animals.
if vocalizations could kill, he would be long gone. But we are working literally every single day on their introductions. He loves her. He's like, will you be my friend? And she says, no. But we're working on it, and they will eventually be friends. I promise everybody. We've done this many times. Loki did not like Artemis when we brought Artemis to him, and they became great friends by the time we lost him. So they lived together for 4 years happily. So we know we'll get there, but currently it's a little bit of a, taking some time, taking some struggle, but we'll get there. And he'll be a great ambassador. We're going to be showing off all our ambassadors coming up here, Mike, right? We got that event coming up.
Yeah, what's going on?
You're going to be there. You're a part of it.
I am.
When
When it comes to caffeine, I'm there. Ooh, nice. Caffeine for a cause, right?
Yeah.
Tell me more about it.
Yeah, you want to feed him?
Yeah.
While you're
I'm sorry. Oh, I made too much of a movement.
Fast. He's coming right back, though. Put your hand out. There you go. He's so forgiving. Look at him.
He's my
Okay,
friend.
So Caffeinate for a Cause, you guys. So on September 25th, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at any Dutch Bros in Anderson, Reading, Palisadro. We will be $1 from every single drink. We'll come back to Turtle Bay to help take care of these animals, do our educational programming, help the children programs, our exhibits that we bring to everybody. $1 from every drink and all of your tips, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And you're doing a shift as one of our celebrity baristas.
Yeah.
Come on out, support Turtle Bay, support Mike here. Come to his stand. Where are you going to be?
I'm actually, I'm going to start going to barista school here shortly, so I can be a very good barista. No, not that. I don't actually know where I'm going to be yet.
Oh, you don't know?
Yeah, I'm still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you watch for his post because he's going. You will be posting where you're going to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Raise money for Turtle Bay for the animals. Caffeinate for a Cause. Dutch Bros, great sponsor, helping us out with a fundraiser that we do every single year to help all of our programming and our animals. And yeah.
Oh,
that was nice.
My finger is not a carrot. Well, I think this is probably going on probably a 5-minute long segment, but that's okay because beautiful animal. We're talking about Caffeinate for a Cause. Be sure to check us out next week. We're going to continue to have these segments every week. Sharon will be here, a different animal, and we love you. This is awesome. So we will see you next week for another edition of Say It With Me, Sharon. Turtle Bay, wonderful world of animals. Well, it is definitely great to be back doing these segments here. It is a lot of fun. Sharon and I always have a lot of fun together. And of course, we got those great animals. We learn more and more about them. And who doesn't love to learn about those beautiful animals they have over there at Turtle Bay? So be sure to check out that segment, Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals, every Monday right here on Coffee with Krueger. You can also check out any of the segments that we've done over the years at weathernorcal.com in the Animal Family section, which is now by a new sponsor. We're very excited to bring on Grange Co-op. They are new to the area and they have graced us with their presence as a sponsor. So we are very excited to have them on board, and they are sponsoring the Animal Family section, which of course does also include Pet of the Week. So we're very excited about that. So once again, you can also check it on weathernorcal.com and the free Weather NorCal app. It also is, I'll post it on Facebook once a week, and you can also watch it right here every Monday at 6:30 on Coffee with Krueger. Well, what do you say we get to our deeper dive forecast? But before we get to that, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our sponsor for Coffee with Krueger. Now, as you know, as you may or may not know, Coffee with Krueger has been sponsored since day one by Wind River Resort and Casino. So we are so thrilled to have them on board and so grateful for their support over the years on Coffee with Krueger's Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Be sure to check out Wind River for that good old-fashioned fun. All right, take a look at what we've got here with your temperatures right now. Notice we're at about 72 degrees for Reading, a bit warmer than most locations here in the valley. That's because we have a bit of a north breeze, and that mixes up the atmosphere. Think about a cup of water or a glass of water, right? When you have cold water in there and then warm water, that warm water sits on top, right? You mix it up, now what happens? That cooler air or cooler water now turns more into warmer water because you've got the hot water mixing with the colder water. So that's essentially kind of what's happening, in a sense. Essentially, when you mix up that atmosphere, it prevents us from really cooling down a whole lot. But otherwise, we're looking at 30s. Look at that, 36 for Alturas. That's only 4 degrees above freezing, 6 degrees above freezing out in Bernie. So it's getting that time of the year. We may even start to see some colors and those leaves changing as well as we get closer to fall here. Fall, first day of fall, by the way, as you know, is next Monday. Ridge of high pressure, that's the dominant feature. That's what's going to be building in over the next few days, but that's not going to last forever. We have the warming trend through Wednesday, but then after that, we're going to start to see a disturbance coming in from the south. You see the moisture that's coming in with it as well. Not a ton. We're not looking at a lot of rainfall out of this, folks, but I do think that for the mountains north and east of the valley, Friday and Saturday, I think we're going to see a chance for some showers there. There may even be a few thunderstorms, but this is not going to be a big event come Friday, Saturday, Really, the bigger story will be the cooler temperatures. And then by Sunday into Monday, it starts to warm back up again and dry out. In fact, warmer than normal temperatures are expected here in the next 6 to 10 days when we look at the Climate Prediction Center's temperature outlook. But the trend overall is a bit of a mini roller coaster ride. We're peaking around Wednesday with our daytime highs. Then we see temperatures dip again. We're back down to the mid 80s by Friday, but then they kind of go back up. Now, it looks like the first day of fall is going to feel more like summer because it will be slightly above normal for this time of the year. But then we start to see those temperatures begin to dip again. So we kind of peak Wednesday, a dip, another little peak after that, and then we start to dip again going into the first week of fall. Taking a look at your lake levels, now we have seen them continue to slowly drop here as we would expect and have been seeing all summer long because we're using the water from those lakes. That's what they're there for. It's there for our use because we need that water. But looking at the historical average, we are still over 100%. There you can see the wave heights are actually dropping a little bit here this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon, that is, but they will probably start to increase again for your Wednesday. Looking at your marine forecast, winds from the north at 5 to 10 knots and your waves from the northwest at 5 feet at about 6 seconds. All right, let's take a look at your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. Let's go and take a look at Trinity County. And it is getting warmer still, so we're talking temperatures in the low to maybe even some mid-90s for some of the warmer spots. Taking us southward, are looking at temperatures in the mid-80s. Places like Ruth about 86, 82 degrees for Mad River. Still dry, though, for the next 7 days. Your Dignity Health North Coast neighborhood forecast, how about 90 for Miranda, 91 out in Garberville, 81 for Redcrest and Honeydew, about 86 degrees, 69 degrees in Ferndale, 73 degrees in Fortuna, and 73 degrees in Rio Dell. 68 for McKinleyville, 74 degrees in Blue Lake. It's getting still pretty warm in those inland areas. You're talking temperatures in the mid-90s for your daytime highs there, although out towards Orleans about 90. 82 degrees for Gas Key today, but look at the coast. You're looking upper 60s. Plenty of sunshine today and this afternoon. There you can see dry conditions, mid to upper 60s for the coast. Your Dignity Health Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, upper 80s for the Highway 96 corridor, but for I-5, you're looking at temperatures generally in the low 80s. And there you can see for Friday, Saturday, you're looking at that chance for rain for pretty much all of Siskiyou County come Friday, Saturday, but should be dry for the rest of this week. Temperatures peaking around Tuesday, Wednesday for Siskiyou County in general before temperatures do start to drop after that, especially for Friday, Saturday, and then drying out on Sunday and beginning to warm up a little bit by the second half of the weekend as well. Modoc County, you're also looking at a chance for some rain here come Friday, Saturday. Otherwise, you see another slight little dip on Sunday. With the eastern mountains today, 80s, even some 70s out towards Old Station, about 79, 77 degrees for Viola. Bernie, I think you're dry Thursday, but there it is, Friday, Saturday. Looks like mainly Friday. Chances on Saturday looking slimmer because it doesn't look like it's going to be the best chance of the two, by the way, will be Friday. And then Saturday is a slimmer chance. But taking a look at Lake Almanor and Lassen Park, well, of course, as we'd expect for the park, it's pretty nice there. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s. 79 for a high today in Mineral, 85 for Greenville, and as well as Susanville, and 76 degrees for Janesville. Here's your Dignity Health Valley neighborhood forecast to the south. Temperatures in the south end of the valley will probably be somewhere in the low 90s for your daytime highs today. Chico, you're topping out at about 95 and 96 for Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively. And then temperatures do start to dip again going toward the end of the week and at least the first half of the weekend. Whiskeytown, 91, 92 degrees for Lakehead, 95 for the city of Shasta Lake, Redding, all the way down to Anderson and Cottonwood, about 94 degrees. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast for Redding. You see those temperatures are topping out in the upper 90s by the time we do get into your Wednesday. That's the peak of this warming trend. And then I do expect temperatures to drop slightly as we go into your Thursday, but even better. I mean, by Friday and Saturday, with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, and then by Sunday, you're talking about temperatures around 90 degrees for that daytime high. So looks like we do have some bit of a roller coaster ride with those temperatures here this week. It's the last full week of summer, so it is going to feel a bit like summer out there. You know, one thing I forgot to check out there this morning. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if I've got it up, and it looks like I do. Let's have a little fun. We'll take a look at what day it is. Today is what? Monday, September 15th. I've got to do a little refresh here. There we go. Let's get you to it. Let's take a look at what the calendars are. What the calendar day is. There you can see it is National Online Learning Day. Well, that's kind of cool. I mean, that's kind of a, a lot of people like to say, since the internet, things have gotten worse. And, well, you know what? It's got a lot of great education as well. Of course, a lot of people do learn. You have online schools and the works. National Neonatal Nurses Day. Well, there you go. That's a little unique. So if you're a neonatal nurse, congratulations to you. It is your day today. National Tackle Kids Cancer Day. That is always something we need to be tackling every day. But today is a day that certainly has been dedicated to that. National Cheese Toast Day. Who doesn't love cheese? Who doesn't love toast? The combination of both. And National Double Cheeseburger Day. Well, there you go. That's a healthy day. A double patty burger with cheese in the works. Well, I mean, come on. That's nothing more American than a double cheeseburger, right? Maybe a little bacon on there, the works. So, yeah, if you're a big burger fan, today might be an excuse for you to get out there and get a burger. How cool is that? All right, well, what do you say we call it a day, wrap things up here? We're going to take a look at some of the great cameras that we do have access to here in Northern California, as we've just lived in such a beautiful area. I had a chance, by the way, to go on out to at least to the Brandy Creek Falls Trail. It is still closed, by the way, about a quarter mile in. That's that last little quarter mile before you really start getting to the falls and kind of explore them. Unfortunately, since the car fire, it just really made a big mess of that trail. And I got to say, I was very impressed with the amount of work and progress that they've made on the Brandy Creek Trail. But there still is some work that needs to be done on that last quarter mile section. Still a lot of dead trees, branches, and you can just definitely see the devastation from the car fire, unfortunately. It's sad, but it's good to see that we are seeing some greenery. Things are growing back, and it still is absolutely gorgeous to see those waterfalls. So had a chance to check that out, and hopefully you can get out and enjoy some of the great things that we have here in Northern California. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today. We're going to take a look at some cameras. And you have yourself a great Monday, and it looks like it's going to be a little warmer out there, so be prepared for the warmer weather. And we will see you tomorrow morning right here on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. Have a great day.